What's up, guys? This is Tom, and this is going to be a quick video, around 6 minutes, breaking down the team that I inherited for the NPL. Now, the NPL is the National Pokeball League, headed by K to the 2, aka Kyle. Now, this league is the same GBA format. My team, well, obviously being the San Jose Torpedoes, took over for a team known as the Detroit Pincers, headed by a girl named Ashley, I think. And this league, runs very almost parallel to how the GBA ran, changing up a few rules, very few though. Now, like I said, the San Jose Torpedoes are back. They have taken over. Obviously, we're on a different team. It's obviously not the GBA in terms of notoriety, but it's something that I enjoy. And like I said from a long time ago, I'm not in this. I'm not in this to get big. I'm in this to enjoy battling the GBA format, and then just entertaining you guys. That's pretty much it. So let's get into the team real quick. You are looking at the team right now, and my first impression of this team is that it is pure power. And I say that because we have things like Salamence, Tyranitar, Terrakion, Metagross, Mega Gyarados, Conkeldurr, and Kyurem Black. And then we also have Wall Core being Quagsire, Farragus, Klefki, Zapdos. Now, what drew me to this team initially was Conkeldurr, Terrakion, and Kyurem Black. Yes, they're all physical attackers, but it's just that pure power that, unless you have something like a Skarmory, or you have something like Slowbro, it's very difficult to, or Chansey, it's very difficult to, be able to reliably handle things that have such, large presences and just straight up. I mean, those things with any type of some innovation can rip holes through teams. Because that's really what I'm trying to get at. And then I have setup sweepers like Mega Gyarados and Salamence and Tyranitar. And in terms of my wall core, Zapdos does handle the fighting weakness, which is very prevalent on this team. I believe 4 or 5 mons are weak to fighting. Very big ground weakness, which I believe Zapdos again and Quagsire also handle. And then I have a huge fairy weakness, and Metagross and even Klefki can handle those. But I guess my only issue is that the person who had drafted this team didn't quite get a grasp on how the GBA works, because clearly your opponent is able to plan for you just as much as you choose or not to choose to plan for them. And I think this team was just picked around what was what was available in the draft, not necessarily what was good for the team. And like I said, that's very prevalent with the mass amount of weaknesses. In addition, I also have one mon that can switch into ghost type moves, and even then, it doesn't. Most ghost types can learn a fighting type move. Obviously, I'm talking about Tyranitar. So yeah, this team is good as it looks in terms of just raw offensive stats, which is kind of the way that I like to play it, more offensive, less defensive. It's really difficult to see a team like, for example, this week 2 in the NPL, I had to battle a team that had Keldeo, Excadrill, and Mega Gardevoir, and those three right there are like a perfect example of just 3 mons that could rip a hole through this team, because the wall core I have can't handle all 3 of those mons, at least not without extremely thorough planning, which obviously I do. But you get my point. So the contract lengths for these: Quagsire, Farragus, Salamence on 3-year deals, Kyurem Black, Tyranitar, Terrakion, Klefki on 2-year deals, and Metagross, Zapdos, Conkeldurr on 1-year deals, and obviously Mega Gyarados is a 1-year deal. I actually made a move Tuesday going into Wednesday, or Wednesday going into Thursday, to drop Salamence and Tyranitar for Roserade on the 3-year contract, and then Blastoise on a 2-year contract. And the reason I did that is it's very easy in the GBA to plan for 4x weaknesses. I believe that I I learned that the hard way with having Scissor and Ferrothorn on my team in season 1 and 2 of the GBA. And I wanted to eliminate some Forex weaknesses because this team does have a lot of them, and I wanted to just kind of, bring that down a little bit so that I could work a little better in terms of my strategy against other people in this league. So, and I think the Blastoise gives me a reliable spinner so that Zapdos isn't pressured to defog in every battle because there are some rock weak mons in this team. And then I think that Roserade gives me another good specially defensive wall that can take the responsibility for not only setting up hazards and sleep powder and maybe even offensive set if I need it to be that week, but it can also take pressure off of whatever other Spadef mon I have to use that week. So yeah, I like this team. I think I'll do well with this team. I've already battled for week 2, and I'll be narrating that right after I'm cutting this video. So this video will probably be going up around 2 o'clock in the morning, Eastern time, and then my GBA. I'm sorry, I'm going to say that a lot because I'm so used to saying it. My NPL battle will be up probably around 1 or 2 o'clock on Sunday. So look out for that, and I will talk to you soon. Okay, bye. Yee.